What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and welcome to episode 2 of my strategy series for Battlefield 3. And this is a full game of Rush on Caspian border. What I wanted to talk about in this episode is Teamplay, and this is addressed not just to the new players but also to the veterans, and how you create a positive environment in which to play, game, and be successful. Because what I've noticed a lot of, and it's something that I'm working on myself in improving, is that oftentimes the good players tend to use the chat, VoIP, etc. in order to berate new players rather than trying to help them out. And so that's what I want to talk about, because, you know, I don't consider myself to be the best Battlefield 3 player by a long shot. I feel that, you know, I do things that are better than average, but I still make lots of mistakes, as do many others. And when that happens, I'd rather that, you know, somebody who is a better player than myself hop into the chat, hop on VoIP, and help me out, rather than simply call me a noob, swear at me, and that sort of thing. And when you do that, you're actually going to create a much more positive gaming environment for everyone. So rather than basically mock new players until they stop playing, it's best, in my opinion, to try and help them out, to make them better players, to help them become better players, so that the gaming environment is more positive and rewarding for everyone, veterans and new players alike. And in this game, I had the opportunity to play on a very good team and on an extremely strong squad. And when I noticed that, what I was trying to do was basically pick a loadout that would be helpful to my squad in order to help them get some work done. I didn't have to take the initiative to go arm all the MCOM stations myself. In fact, I think on this particular map, I only armed one. But I noticed that my team and my squad were pushing for the MCOMs hard, so rather than rush in there and get killed myself, I tried to help set up a perimeter, establish map control. Luckily it wasn't hardcore mode, because I kind of jumped the gun and started shooting my own teammate in the back. But right here, my squad mate arms the crate, so I'm going to back off, toss down some health, and try and support him. And what I've done myself in the past is gotten frustrated with teammates, squad mates, who are sitting back and not helping the team, in my opinion, and have basically said stuff to them like, you know, listen, asshole, don't sit back there and snipe, come help the team. And that does not tend to get results. But what I found lately is if I hop in the chat and say to someone who's sitting back sniping, hey, why don't you grab the support kit or engineer kit or assault kit and let's go grab this flag or capture this objective, then I'm actually getting some positive results. And, you know, that makes it a much more enjoyable gaming session for myself, and I'm hoping that the person that I'm communicating with also takes something away from that and starts to transform into a more team-oriented player. And in doing so, even if one or two people start doing that, then Battlefield 3 becomes a better game for everyone to play. Now, one thing that I've been working hard to improve myself is my own awareness as to what's going on in the chat box, especially when I'm playing on PC. On Xbox, my team can communicate via VoIP. On PS3, unfortunately, that still is kind of hit and miss. If it's one or two players that are communicating, then it seems to work okay, but once you get up to 3 or 4, it doesn't work. Right there, I actually failed to reload my weapon before heading around the corner and almost paid for it, but because I was working with my squad and moving with them, they were actually able to help clean up those two guys, and I was able to move on. But since DICE moved the chat box from the upper right-hand corner where it was extremely obvious, too obvious, and to the upper left-hand corner of the screen, I find myself missing a lot of what's going on, and that's something that I'm trying to add to my awareness, because in this game, my team was talking to me a couple of times and I missed it. So, you know, as I said, I don't consider myself to be the best, and there's many things that I want to improve on, and awareness as to what's happening with team communication in the chat is definitely one of those things. Now, the team's going to get one of the MCOM stations armed. I'm actually going to try and sort of split the defense and cause a distraction by arming the A crate, so that hopefully my team can take down B. I mean, in an ideal world, I take down A as well, but that doesn't happen. They're going to get it disarmed. But what I did previously was, you know, when I encountered some enemies, I attempted to communicate that in the text chat. On PC, obviously, you can communicate with either the entire lobby, your team, or your squad. And my squad was chatting back and forth, but, you know, the whole team was playing Rush very effectively. We were swarming, not mindlessly at the defenders, but we were working together as a unit, as an entire team, and our squad moved together. Now, you don't want to just follow your squad mates in single file. It's best to spread out. But once I recognized that I was playing with folks that were stronger than myself, I was trying to, sit back and take on more of a support role. I know that they're going to go for the crates. I know that I don't have to arm them myself. But I wanted to talk about how you build a group of people to play with so that you can wind up in this situation as well. This was actually a lobby that I would have announced on Twitter, actually being hosted by Athale, and I wound up joining in later on as he left. And it was on the Don't Revive Me Bro Pixel Enemy server, and everyone who came out here, by and large, were out to play the objective and play the game the way that it was intended. Now, what I will say is a lot of comments on my recent videos have alluded to the fact that people have a difficult time finding players that are like-minded to play with. And I wanted to address that a little bit because I've run into some situations recently where I've played with random teammates and had an extremely good experience. And when that happens, you should acknowledge it. And the strategy that I've taken is if I come across a good player in my squad that's helping me out, or even just a player on my team, I'll send a message. I'll send a friend request. And being that, I'm on YouTube, it's typically not all that difficult in order to fill a friends list, but I found that, I'll make room for good players I run across in order to have the opportunity to play with them again, and I think that you should do the same. If you have a good gaming experience with someone, then send them a message, send them a friend request. The worst that's going to happen is that they're going to say no. It's like asking someone out in junior high school, right? I don't know, but over time you're going to build up a group of folks so that when you hop on, there's going to be players that you can squad up with and play, and that's going to help you get the most out of your gaming sessions. So here, towards this last base, I know that my team is aggressively pushing the objective, so rather than run in and stand around with them, because it looks like they've got it locked down, I'm going to try and flank behind, and I'm watching my mini-map to see where my teammates are located. I'm trying to spot out enemies along the sight lines coming out of spawn so that we can attack the other objective from behind, which is a much better strategy than simply running right at it from the front, I've found, 9 times out of 10. But anyway, guys, that's about it for this gameplay. I'm going to run out of ammo and have to find another kit to play with, but what I really wanted to get at in the second episode was helping to create an environment of positive gaming, because that's going to help new players and veterans alike. That's it for me, guys. Cheers. We'll talk soon.